I'm headed off to Essen next month, and these are the games that I'm most excited about.
Hi, I'm Julian and this is Libby, and together we are BoxedMeeples. So, yes, you're off to Essen. Sadly, I have to work, but what we've done is we've looked through all of the games that are coming to Essen. All 850 of them, I think it was.
Yeah, 700 and something. Yeah, I can't remember on BGG, but there was a lot to wait through.
Lots of games. Now, some of these have not been announced. There might be more that we don't know about.
Yeah.
Some of them are only going to be in foreign language. We've ruled out those. These are just English games.
And some of them, it's like the box art and the strapline grabs you. So there might be some other gems there that just haven't quite popped as yet. So
but I think
who knows?
From what you said, going to Essen, it's good to have a game plan because it is so big.
Yeah.
Not just a little bit big, all the big.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm going to print off all maps and highlight and, create spreadsheets and all that fun stuff to have a look and see what I can get around and what I need to go and see where I've got meetings and things like that.
So we've done a list each. We've both picked 10 games that we're most excited about at Essen. And so
today's my list.
Today's your list. But first, we've got some honourable mentions.
Yeah, just one or two.
So some of these are ones we've talked about in the past.
Yes.
Some of these are ones you've got access to from work. But yes, so first up you've got Arborea.
Yes, Arborea is one that you spoke about previously. I think it might have been last year's UK. Oh, was it Essen?
I think it was Essen last year.
Yeah. All right. So because we had it highlighted previously, it's still on my radar. I'm still gonna go and have a look at it. But I just thought I'll give something else an actual numbered space because we've already spoken about that.
Astro Navigators, a game we absolutely love.
Same. We picked that up at UK Games Expo, so we'll be interested to go and see what's about and things, and maybe sit and have a game. We have got a copy here we'll be playing, so again.
It'll be more of a social call. Bitoku, the expansion of Bitoku.
Yes. Super excited for that. Anyone who's seen our top 10 will know that makes it up in there for me. So really intrigued to see how this new expansion works, and also White Castle coming from De Vere. Obviously, I'm working for Cosmos and De Vere distributing into the UK. So I will have access to those games through the distribution. So I don't necessarily, if it wasn't for that, I'd be beelining for both of those games. But they don't necessarily need to be on my top 10 list because of that. But
should be able to get them through work.
Yeah.
Dreamworld.
Yeah, interesting. That I have backed Unconscious Mind, so I'm waiting patiently, kind of, for my Kickstarter. And interesting to see how they have changed that artwork up and made more of a sort of card game out of that. So I will drop by and have a little look there. That seems interesting.
It's something I know we're going to buy. It's already available. Lost Winds of Arnak expansion. So the missing expedition.
Yeah, I feel like that's a given. We were excited to see if they had anything on that at UK Games Expo, so we did mention that at that point. So,
I got a chance to meet the designers briefly, which is lovely. We've got the print and play version of that, which has now evolved quite a lot since then, so we are kind of vaguely aware of it, but we will be buying it.
Oh, 100%. So, I can't not complete Arnak.
No. Redwood we've talked about.
Yes, we talked about that before from Sit Down Games. I will be going over to see them, but we again did mention that in our UK Games Expo sort of excitement videos there. So.
I got more excited since I've been hearing about at Gen Con about using the different lenses to get different photos.
Yeah, and they've got a couple of other games that I'm interested in as well.
Absolutely, they've got some good things on the horizon. Revive expansion. You want an expansion for a game we haven't yet played?
Well, the thing is, I'm hoping to play it this month, because then, I haven't had it for a whole year without playing it, and if it's great, then obviously I'm going to want more content.
You'll want the expansion.
So, honorary mention, because I haven't played the base game yet. That's fair, right?
So that was an impressive haul of honorary mentions.
Yeah, sorry about that.
But now let's head into.
It just shows you the quality of what there is.
Yeah.
Oh, and have we mentioned Knarr from CGE?
Yep.
Again, we did see that at UK Games Expo at their press event there, and we got a chance to sort of see how the game works. Interesting sort of sliding mechanism there, so it'll be good to see how that's progressed.
Right, so let's head into the numbered ones. The ones that qualify for a special graphic and a special bit of focused attention on them. So you're number 10. Right, so first up, Bonsai.
Yes, I mean, just the theme alone, Bonsai. I think you're building up these little trees and things. Looks super beautiful. We love a sort of Asian themed game, Chinese, Japanese, that kind of thing. And it looks like a nice little puzzle there.
Yeah, I'd be keen to get it because you once bought me a bonsai tree and they don't get on with direct sunlight, we've learnt. So hopefully we'll do better with the game than we actually did with an actual bonsai.
Yeah, I mean, you kept it alive for what, 9 months?
I think it's more than that. Maybe a year. Maybe when we moved in together. So I think that's at least a year of bonsai massacring. But yeah, the game looks really lovely.
It really does.
And I love the theming of it. So yeah, I'm pleased that it's on your list.
It is.
So next up, you have the Pandasaurus game Emerge.
Yeah, that looks super interesting. I like the look of the artwork for that. You're basically, these islands are sort of emerging out and you're trying to build and research these ecosystems within them. So that sounds like a lot of fun. It's nice and colourful. The box just looks lovely. And they've got little whales at the side and cute little like meeple things in there. So
I really like the way that kind of starts at ground zero for everyone. Everyone's got the same boards, and it's how you research, where you focus on, and your research goals as you go along. And obviously, if everyone started the same, it's interesting to see how the end point can be very different for everyone. So, Vale of Eternity.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know an awful lot about this one. If
Lucky
I'm honest.
you're going to a board game expo to find out more about it.
Exactly. I mean, I was intrigued by the box itself, and then I read some of the information about it, and it said that some of the cards and things are based on kind of folklore and things from around the world, and those kind of things really interest me. In fact, I did some of my master's dissertations on that kind of thing. So it's interesting to see how they'll be implemented. There's dragons in it. Who doesn't love a dragon? And they earn you the most points, of course. And it sounds like you're sort of kind of coming across and maybe taming these different types of creatures from around the world and seeing who does best with that. So
the card art and the components are really lovely for this game. And yeah, like you said, I think it's really interesting that how this kind of different folklore mesh together in a really beautiful game.
I mean, it looks gorgeous, so I'm really intrigued to see how the actual gameplay works, and hopefully they'll have some out that I can sit down and have a little play. And
go on a research mission, because this is Western my appetite. Now, Freelancers by Plaid Games is very much the new hotness. I think this is going to be a game in demand at Essen this year.
Yeah, I mean, Forgotten Waters is a game that I've had on my wish list for a long time. We've played Crossroads, that has Dead of Winter.
Dead of Winter is Crossroads games.
Has a Crossroads games as well, that has that storytelling, that it's going to have that app driven. You don't have to have a games master, even though it's that RPG styling of thing. You're learning and building a character and going on a story together, and we've really enjoyed some of that kind of story style games lately. So I've heard some great reviews about this, some people saying they enjoy it even more than Forgotten Waters. So really intrigued to see how that kind of fantasy world is going to come into that, and what sort of characters there are to pick from. And I think there's quite a few different scenarios that you can work through and upgrade your characters and things. So
it really feels like a big kind of event game. You know, you get people around, no preparations required. You sit at the table, you go on an adventure in the end of the world apocalypse style way, and then people get immersed in the game. And as you're saying, it doesn't need a games master because it's all on the app. So then it doesn't feel like someone's got to do all the hard graft, setting up an evening for it. They can be a participant in the game as well. So I kind of feel like the this is where the kind of Crossroads game has been headed, really,
Definitely,
and this
yeah.
is kind of hopefully going to be the kind of the junction point, the masterpiece of those kind of games, in really strong storytelling.
Does start from 3 players, but I think now we're in a slightly better place for 3-player games, and sometimes that might make me feel a little bit like when would we table it, but I think we have more opportunities at the moment, so I'm not so worried about that right now.
Well, it's going to be worth the cost of admission if you have a group of people around who have a fantastic evening together, on a par, you know, when you go to the theatre as a group, or you know, you go to cinema, and I think from all intents and purposes this sounds exactly that kind of thing.
Sounds amazing.
Next up on your list, Hike.
I nearly backed this one on Kickstarter. It's got huskies on the front of it. You're taking your huskies on a little husky racy ride, seeing how the terrain goes. Is there a slippy slidey bit? And have you got a good trained, experienced husky at the front of your sled, or have you got a young pup who's fresh out the woods, doesn't know what he's doing? I mean, it's got doggos in it. You're winning me over there. I did see some nice reviews from like Raldo and people like that at the time. Somehow didn't end up backing it. Waterfall. So hopefully they'll have some copies at Essen.
Make amends and grab the Kickstarter copies while you can.
Well, let's see if they've got them, but yeah.
So the game. I'm being a Viking.
Nah. It's a Viking game. I mean, what else do I need to say? I'm always up for a Viking game. I think you're a clan member and you're putting your cards out and you're seeing where you can explore and what places you can influence and where your ships are going to take you in typical Viking behaviour, and see what it's going to take. It seems to have a lot of cards in it, so it's like a smaller boxed game as far as I can see. But yeah, I mean, Vikings.
Yeah, we've really enjoyed Viking Raiders recently.
We have.
So another game that does similar things. That would be super duper. Not a lot of information online about this one. So yeah, lots to discover really, when you head into those halls.
Yeah, and there was 1 or 2 other Viking games on the list for Essen, but I thought I'd try and keep it down to 1. But there are a couple of other Viking ones there that might get a little sneak peek whilst we're there. Who knows?
To be honest, I could have said, no, it's a Viking game. That's why it's on the list.
Yeah, pretty much.
The next on your list is Septima. It's a game we know quite a lot because a friend of ours has backed it on Kickstarter and won't stop talking about it.
Yeah, I nearly backed it on Kickstarter and then he said he had. So then I was like, oh great, well I'll just play your copy, and now he's moving away.
Selfish.
How dare he? So
Really
I'm going to have to go and check this out even more. I mean, I would have done anyway, but this one is based on witches, and you're obviously doing your normal witchy thing. You're brewing potions, collecting herbs and doing all of that kind of thing, but you're also needing to potentially go and try and save the witches from your coven from the trials, Salem witch trials, and try and not let the villagers turn against you with what you're doing. I think you have sort of about 9 actions to choose from.
Yes, you're discreetly choosing an action and hoping to draw attention to your underhanded witchy shenanigans.
Exactly. And I think there are times when you can play more than 1 action, but obviously that will raise suspicion, so you could only do that maybe as a dire means to try and save one of your coven or something like that. But love the idea of the theme, and I like that idea that there's the trial section plus the other bits of normal witchy behaviour going on.
You're brewing potions and all of that malarkey while going on.
Be interesting to see how they combine. So yeah, sounds a lot of fun, this one.
Has a strong look as well.
Really strong, yeah. Good artwork again.
Recently, a very good friend of ours had this delivered. It took up a whole table when he unearthed his Kickstarter collection. Voidfall.
Yes, I mean, this looks super exciting. It's got that Euro styling, but it's still a 4X. We're in space. I mean, what's more to ask for, right?
Yeah, I've already seen people saying how does it compare to Eclipse, which is a game we really like, to Twilight Imperium, to Gaia Project, all of which are games that we've we've enjoyed knowing about. We haven't played Twilight Imperium yet because we're not brave enough. We have played Guard Project, obviously Eclipse.
Yeah, and so it'd be interesting to see how different it is to that. You know, is it worth adding to the collection? Does it bring that variety? It'd be nice to see it out on a table and see, you know, how it all works, where it goes. I mean, the tiles look kind of similar-ish to Dwellings of Eldervale, which is a great game that we really enjoy. So, you know, are there any similarities there in gameplay and things? And what's it got to offer?
I think that's
It'd be
really
interesting.
what the beauty of these kind of expos are. Is you know, you can find out about a game that catches your eye that you're interested in. And then you can just go there and see it firsthand, which is not something you can often do.
No.
Often you're, you know, putting down a lot of money for sometimes very expensive games based on, you know, other people's opinions or reviews. At expos, you can literally touch them, see them, maybe play a quick round.
And the thing, even if sometimes at places like Essen, you don't always get to sit and play them all, it can be really busy, you're struggling to sort of get a table, but you can always have a look, you can overhear what's happening with a turn, and it gives you a good gist about whether it's something you want to go into a bit further or not. And I'm sure this one's going to be the one that I will be wanting to do that. It sounds to me like it ticks all of our boxes. So
well, and you have the people there who know the games. So if you're like, well, is this a Twilight Imperium whole day affair, or is it kind of more distilled like Gaia Project or Eclipse? They're the people to ask. You can get those immediate answers to your questions. It helps you, which informs you in a buying decision. I think for a big investment like this, that's invaluable. Yeah,
because playtime is
up to about 240
minutes, so longish game. But it'd be interesting, you know, does that adapt with different missions? Is it to do with player count? You know, that kind of thing. So that'd be interesting to see more about.
Hopefully this one isn't crouching out of view and entirely hidden from sight. Tiger and Dragon from Oink.
I mean, yeah, we all expect Oink games to be these teeny tiny little boxes, like Scout and some of those other great ones they've got. And this is bigger box, like the Make the Difference was a bit bigger as well.
Yep.
And I think this is a bigger still. But this has got those gorgeous Mahjong style tiles in it, which look fabulous. And I've seen so much hype about this at Gen Con, with loads of people grabbing it there and loving the look of it and enjoying the play. I want to get in on that party, basically. I really enjoy Mahjong with the family sometimes, so having like a different style of game that has those nice tactile tiles sounds like it's going to be super fun.
Well, Oink games are slightly hit and miss. Sometimes you have some real gems. You know, we absolutely love Scout. Deep Sea Adventures are a perennial favourite. We're always playing Fake Artist. As startups, also brilliant. But then there's also some curious studs that don't really work when they're translated. So obviously this is going to be a new translation of it. So it'd be good to see if that gameplay translates well and if it carries over well to a Western audience.
Yeah, I mean the reviews I've seen, everyone's loving it.
I'm going to get the pronunciation wrong. Zhanguo.
Who knows? It's by Sorry We're French, who did Iki, which we really enjoy.
Love Iki.
Obviously, it's a sort of an Asian Chinese set game. I'm loving the Great Wall of China. We love Iki. We love loads of those games set in that area. It always sort of appeals to us quite a lot. This one, it seems that the Emperor has got all these goals and missions that he's trying to get done in the country, sort of make the wall, sort out his terracotta army, you know, get all the clans together so they've all got leaders and they've all got this and they've all got that he wants. He's very precise that he wants.
Very demanding.
He's very demanding, and whoever meets his demands the most is going to be the winner. So it seems like it's got a lot to offer.
Yeah, I really love the production of the Iki, the recent Iki update. We've got the expansion of the Akibara.
If it meets up to that, then
yes,
it sounds great.
Again, it's another kind of research expedition. Just having a look at it, you'll be able to see those things and see, well, you know, I expect it to be a different game to Iki.
Oh yeah, we're not going shopping and burning our houses down, are we? We're building walls, we're building terracotta armies, completely different.
Very different. But yeah, I love the art style of that, so you know, hopefully if it's an entirely different game, that'd be great with that art style, or just that attention to kind of production values, which I think was lovely and unique. So yeah, it would have been on my list as well, but it's on yours, so it won't be.
Well, that is my 10 for Essen, plus my, you know, myriad of honourable mentions.
One or two honourable mentions.
Of course, if you've seen something that's caught your eye that you think I might like, please mention it in the comments, and I'm going to add that to my very extensive list of things to go to, which is going to be more than these 10 when I visit the show.
Because you're going to be flying there, so you are going to be limited by baggage allowance, which wasn't a problem for UK Games Expo, so don't expect to haul the size of that madness.
No, I'm going to wear all of my clothes on the journey home and just fill my suitcase as much as I can.
Maximising that hand luggage. But yeah, do let us know what games Libby should look out for, and stay tuned, of course, for my list of top 10 games. If you're interested in seeing that, make sure you are subscribed to our channel, like this video, because that really does help, and I suspect my tastes are obviously different to yours, and there's going to be a very different list I picked for my
We have checked that there's no crossovers.
There's no overlap at all.
10 new games
10
to look out for.
10 slightly mad games heading of Essen. But hopefully you've enjoyed what you've seen here. If you're looking for board games, best place to buy them is your friendly local game store. Obviously a lot of these won't be available yet, but in the future they might be.
They might have pre-orders.
Maybe, get in on that. But we'll be buying them from Chaos Cards, which is our friendly local game store down here in the southeast of England. And if you're not in the southeast of England, there's a discount code in the description, so you can save some money and check out buying your favourite board games.
You can indeed. But for now, until Julian's top 10, we'll see you next time.
Thanks so much for watching.